All right, am I live now? Paranormal, have I got sound? I had to go back and try to get my thing set again. I keep getting to do that. There ain't no, there's two on the porch. Sound is on. Okay. Well, I went out a little while today. I run into I run into this. What the heck's wrong with my hat? I run into a young man. He's walking down on the sidewalk, and he was carrying a little suitcase and a pillowcase. Looked like it was full of clothes. And I spoke to him. I think I said, "Looks like you're going somewhere." And turns out the guy's 20 years old, and he voted in the election. It's the first election he's ever voted in. Because the last election he wasn't but 18. He wasn't 18, but he's 20 now. And he and or no, he's 18. How was it? How did I get that all mixed up? He wasn't old enough to vote in the last election, but this election he was, and he's about 20 now, and he voted for Harris. So, and he's a registered uh, independent, I think he said. Anyway, his daddy kicked him out. His daddy was a big time Trump fan. The reason his daddy kicked him out, oh yeah, I got a bunch canned on that deal. Matter of fact, the lady, I had a lot of conversation with that lady too, and she's gonna be setting once a week a bag of cans and stuff out there beside the fence, not there where the trash is, because since there another scrapper would get them. So it'll be sitting up there next to the vehicle and the fence. Not on the other side of the fence, but just on the other side, I can't get them. But anyway, his daddy kicked him out because he voted for Harris. I can't believe that. I said, well, if I'd have voted, I'd have voted for Trump. But I said, I don't understand why your daddy would kick him out or kick you out. But he kicked him out. He was walking to a shelter uh, somewhere further in town. I know where it's at. So he had a pretty good walk ahead of him. And he didn't know if he'd be able to get in the shelter when he got there or not. But he he's got no money. He doesn't have a job, and he was he's going to a some kind of school. He doesn't have a car, but Daddy puts him out on the street, and his daddy was supporting him. But just because Daddy's supporting him and he didn't vote the way he wanted him to vote, doesn't give him a right to put him out on the street. I don't think. That's crazy. That's crazy. I just can't believe people would do stuff like about politics. I just can't wrap my head around. Uh, and I was reading somewhere else, somebody got booted out of the house because she voted for Trump. I don't know, folks. Things have changed so much from the way it used to be. I mean, I remember when the people in the families, our family and everything was all different ones with different voting different ways. But we just was pretty much joking about it. We didn't go to, we might sit there and argue about it, but we're not sitting there disowning somebody because of it. But I don't know. I I don't see how you disown a family member. I always thought Jerry Lewis. He used to be Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis team. Then they split up, and Jerry Lewis went on to be pretty popular. He made some movies and stuff, and Dean Martin went on to be pretty popular. But Jerry Lewis, I liked him. But turns out he had four sons and a daughter. When he died, he had like a $50 million estate. He made it a point in his will that his daughter got everything and them sons got nothing. He had disowned his sons. I can't believe that. He disowned. And then I seen him do an interview before he died, and he was a pretty much sarcastic SOB in that thing. I've learned things about people I really liked back when they were really popular that turns out I can't stand them now. And I'll tell you another one. And it ain't because of politics. It's Rosie O'Donnell. She had a show on TV that come on every day, Rosie O'Donnell show, and I really liked her. I didn't know she was a lesbian at that time, but I kind of wondered about it because I seen a movie that she was in and she was kind of seeming to be that way, but it didn't make no difference. But after her show got over and everything, she turned into a real, uh, she didn't look like Rosie O'Donnell anymore. She really looked lesbian like, that wasn't a problem, but she just changed. Her demeanor and everything changed. And one time screamed out on the live interview, she said, "Hey Donald, eat me." Uh, she just changed. Now I can't stand her. And turns out she's got adopted kids, and one of her daughters was busted for drugs or something. Of course, that happens to any family. But the daughter never had nothing good to say about Rosie O'Donnell. Uh, I don't know. But folks, come on in, talk to me. But I'm definitely not a fan of Rosie O'Donnell. I'm not a fan of Whoopi Goldberg. And she's fixing to face a big lawsuit because she said that somebody refused her service at a bakery because of her politics, and it wasn't that at all. And she knew that. She lied about it. Yeah, Jerry's been gone a long time, but he turned had he was a lot of sarcasm last time I seen him do a live interview. But he disowned his four sons. One son he hadn't seen in 40 years. I don't know. You never know about all these celebrities. You don't really know how they are in private life. You know about the facade they put out there about how they want to appear. But anyway, by the end of the month, I should have $105 in my YouTube account, so that's enough to get a check. But that's not enough to buy that new computer. Now, this computer that kind of halfway works, but it won't totally boot up, but it's because the BIOS and everything is messed up on it, and it has to be reset. I know what you have to do to reset it, but I don't know the sequence that you have to put it into to do that. And that happens anytime you change a battery. So I'm thinking about, hey Jason, hey Jason, I've learned something about computers. Anytime you pull the battery out of your computer or change batteries or something, that erases something in there on the BIOS or something about the way it boots up. And you have to do certain things to get it to do, to boot back up normal. This one here, the here Packer got, it will turn on and everything, but it'll say something about diagnostics and all that. I don't know the procedure to reset all that stuff. But I never thought about your battery when you take a battery out that your clock and everything goes dead. Then you put. I thought when you put a new battery in, it will just automatically start working. But oh no, it don't do that. So I'm wondering, what do you think a computer shop would charge me if I took the computer to them and my CMOS said, "Yep, you're right." What would they charge me to reset that? You think? What would normally be a fair price? It's an easy fix, but not for me and my 83-year-old head. I can't get my head wrapped around it. But I It just never occurred to me. But now that I think about it, well, heck yeah, you could lose something in there. The CMOS setting. The problem is, Jason, I can't wrap my brain about that. I'm afraid I messed something up. But I'm thinking about taking it to a computer shop. That one that used to be Jesse's Computers, and see if they'll redo that for me. That may be cheaper than buying another computer. But since I started tinkering with these two computers, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. I know there's a little jumper thing in there on the motherboard that you're supposed to pull it up and set it over on the two left pins and then do something and then set it back on the right pins. Uh, yeah, he sold out. Somebody else has got it now. Yeah, Pittman's is closed too. I used to go to Pittman, but I wish I could go to school or something, learn how to work on them things, but I probably couldn't get my head wrapped around it. But I think I'm gonna get a YouTube check this month. I've got $70 in my AdSense, and I got $35 on my that I've already earned, and so that's $105. But that's still not enough to buy my new computer. And yeah, that's when it triggers. It's at $100, but that's not enough to get me out of the woods yet. I've also got that power supply I bought, thinking that would fix my computer. Uh, that we sent that back to Amazon, so I'm getting $29 and change back from that. So that'll put me over the top to be able to get another computer if I have to. Yeah, there's my tip jar, sir. Thank you, Paranormal. Uh, I just wish, back that time you come to my house, Jason, and I forget what I had you over there for, but I remember you showed me how to clean that the mouse, when it had the ball on the thing. Now mine is like this here. But I'm also thinking about having having this Hewlett Packard all in one that I'm on right now. It's really old. It's about 8 or 9 years old. But I ain't never as slow as all get out. I just wonder what the chance would be if I took it and had everything blowed off and Windows reinstalled. Would it be worth it? Like Pittman, so you used to do it. I used to have to do that to other computers, and at that time he charged $50 to blow everything off and reinstall Windows. I don't know because it's been so reliable. It's not really. that reliable, but it's got a lot of junk on here that I can't seem to find out. And I put ad block on this thing a while back. Somebody said do that, get rid of them ads, but I didn't know it would affect my YouTube thing. YouTube don't like won't come on unless I click on something and 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 take it out. But I can't find out where on the computer. I go to settings and everything and apps, and I can't find ad block nowhere. How in the world would you go about taking out ad block? I don't know. I, I boot up the computer using UMS configuration and do it. I'll look into that. Well, he's not really that close anymore, paranormal. He's about 30 miles away. No, I'll guess that far out there. Yeah, Jason was son's, one of my son's school friends, and they used to ride bicycles down the railroad tracks on the and Bud come home one day. Well, his bicycle just messed up. And I never knew why until Jason told me. But yeah, they were friends. And I knew Jason way back when. I also knew his dad. His dad passed away. I was shocked to hear about your dad passing away. But do you live? You still live in paranormal gambling? How are you tonight? Uh, oh, you live in Bellevue. No, you're not that far away. Uh, Jason, whatever happened with your dad's, I guess she was his ex-wife, the one that went to Jehovah's Witness. Didn't they have a kid together? That would be your sibling. She lives in Tennessee now. Oh yeah, that's right. She worked at the state's attorney. Now I remember this. I forget a lot of stuff. I forget a lot of stuff. She went to a private law firm that actually then retired from there. Yeah, I remember your dad was awful upset about that. But we moved from Citra about, I guess, right at 10 years now. That was a big mistake, though, I'll tell you that. 'Cause, man, I'll tell you what, we moved out of there, we would do repairs on the house. wish I had my head wrapped around that stuff like y'all do. I'm just, I can't do it. I guess I could, but my problem is my memory doesn't work so great. That's the problem. I can look at all that stuff from people giving you instructions on how to do it, but I wish I knew somebody that could look at some of these hard drives I get and get a bunch of information, data and stuff off of them without charging your arm and the leg. I got two old hard drives that come out of other computers that took a dump. Got a lot of family photos and stuff on there. But I contact them and they want you to send them the hard drive and then they'll give you a price. Well, I don't want to do that. I would like a price beforehand because a lot of times you send something to them and the price is way high. To get your hard drive back, you got to pay a fee. And I don't want to do that. Not this HP that I'm trying to get back going. It's got the newer the SSD hard drive in it. But I'm getting quite a collection of hard drives. Anytime a computer takes a dump, if I can't get it fixed, I just take the hard drive out there here in my drawer. But anyhow, that's where I'm at now. Looks like I have $105 on my YouTube channel this month. And I should have that $30 back from Amazon by then. So maybe yeah, that's right. That happened with another computer I had. I took it to a computer shop to fix it, and they told me it was going to be $339. Said I had several problems. And then they wanted, but I said, well, don't fix it. We'll pick it up. He said, well, the fee's $43 to pick it up. Well, there's no need of me picking it up for $43. Yeah. Hey, Barbara Everett, how you doing, dear? Barbara is one of my old red-headed friends. Sent me some T-shirts one time, and she's helped support my channel a little bit too. Well, not a little bit. Over the years, it's been more than that. Now, she may not want me saying that. If it's a Western Digital, I think some of them are. I think that one. They both. Let me look here. Let me look. Where is it? Where is it? Uh, this is the Western Digital, 1 terabyte. That's the main one. And what you say about a Western Union, if your hard drive is a Western Union, you can download WD Acronic True Image for free. WD Acronic. No, Acronis. I got to remember that. I got to remember. If it's a Seagate and SSD is that. Raining for 2 weeks, Barbara. I'll have to come back and look at that. Hey, Jason, uh, send me another email to trashjobber@gmail.com, and so I'll have that, and I'm probably get your phone number, and I'd love to see you again, my friend. I love. You remember Jason? Do you remember Tommy Campbell? That was Robert's brother. Uh, I hadn't seen him for a pretty good while now. I know he worked over at Sonny's Barbecue for years, and they always called him TC. I know he was pretty hurt when Bud died and Robert died, and I remember him talking about he's still at Sonny's. That might be a way we could see him. Of course, we can't afford to eat out anymore. I can't afford it. It's my fault though that I'm in the predicament that I'm in. No, it's nobody's fault but my own. But I remember him talking about he was talking when he went to one of them compassionate friends things where you lose loved ones and stuff, and was talking about losing his best friend and his sister all on the same day. And he was talking about on the school bus going across from the elementary school to the high school and seeing Robert's car sitting out there and seeing his mama's car sitting out there. Because his mama and her boyfriend come up on that one at the same time almost. And that must have been terrible for him. Uh, I'll tell you what, I sure miss my son. Miss Robin too. But ever since then, I've lost a lot of family members. Uh, I'm outliving a lot of them. Did you call him Bud or did you call him Russell? Yeah, most people call him Russell. My my middle grandson's name is Arthur Joseph right. And everybody calls him Arthur. I've always called him Joey. My youngest grandson is Jaden Cole Pearson, and I call him Jay. Well, I guess I've been talking almost an hour. Yeah, send me an email, Jason. Trashdogger@gmail.com. He was a big boy. Yeah, I appreciate it so much, folks. And there again, if you're inclined to do so to help me out, to channel out financial, and that's what anytime anybody helps me on this channel, that's pretty much what it goes for, to help me get stuff I need to get for my channel. I can't run this channel the way it is without some help. But I appreciate it so much. And Jason, I appreciate you being here. Paranormal, all of you. And Barbara, you're not looking for a new van. Barbara had an accident a while back. She got rear-ended, and guess who it was that rear-ended her? Her brother. I don't know what the particulars was about that. It was her brother. And Barbara lives in Washington State, and I'm not sure. Well, I ain't gonna say what her political affiliation is. Nobody cares. I'm not even going to discuss politics. Jason, did you vote? Yes, you. I didn't get to vote this time, but my disability just kept me from doing it. I didn't know if they would have any kind of way I could go up there to the thing and vote or not. But the trouble is, uh, I can't take my scooter, my handicapped scooter, but I can take my wheelchair, I guess. But I would like. This is the first election that I've missed in 70 years. Uh, I voted. First election I voted in was for John F. Kennedy, and I voted for Kennedy. And I've voted every election. I voted in 2020, and that was the last election I voted in. Yep. And I was in when I heard about John Kennedy being assassinated. I was in I was in Frankfurt, Germany, in the army. I was on my second 3 years then. And when my second 3 years was up, I was going to re-enlist for 6 years to the old World War II first sergeant. Said, you know, if you re-enlist, you're probably going to be sent to Vietnam. And my brother Joe, my youngest brother, had already been over there and shot twice. He wounded the first time he went. The second time he went, he wounded again. And I just said, well, I've done my 6 years. I've done more than my service required. I think I'm gonna go home. And I felt kind of guilty ever since then because uh, I lost a good friend that introduced me to my wife, Curtis Freeman. And he was in the army at the same time I was, and he re-enlisted and he went to Vietnam. He was killed over there. So that was friend number one. Then a friend that was in my wife's family, his name was Terry Cochran. Me and him was in helping. He was home on leave, a 30-day leave before he was shipping out to Vietnam. And one of my wife's uncle's wife died, and me and Terry and a couple of other guys was digging the grave up at the church cemetery for her. And a few days later, he went back to where he was based at, and they shipped him out to Vietnam. Well, 2 or 3 months later, I was back out at the church cemetery helping dig the grave. The grave was Terry Cochran. He was shot and killed over there. Boy, I had a lot of mixed feelings about that. I didn't. I was just. He was just. He wasn't even. I don't think he was even 19 years old at the time. He joined when he was. Uh, he joined when he was 18, and I don't know. I don't know if there was been some kind of conflict going on like that when I was 18. I don't know if I'd have joined or not. But that's the last grave I've ever dug. Them graves ain't easy to dig. They're deep too. That's up the church cemetery. That's a church where I've been a member for the last mm, 60 years, I guess. Well, it was 6 foot deep back then. I don't know what it is now. It was 6 foot deep back then. But the church always got volunteers to dig the grave so they didn't, family didn't have to pay for that. Plus, you didn't have to pay for the grave plot either. If I had my druthers, I would be buried up there. But my druthers now is just cremate me. And that's what we did with my wife and everything. Her ashes sitting in there in the living room on the shelf. I wish in the way that Bud had been cremated. But my wife would have never went along with that, I don't think. But who knows what to do when you go through losing somebody really close. Anyhow, folks, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Oh, I got 9 in the house on the porch. Well, is that on in the house? No. Wait a minute. I got 4. Give me some thumbs up, folks, before I go. I've been talking over an hour. Let me get out of here. Gee, let me get out of here. Thank you for the thumbs up, folks, and thank y'all for being in. You've made my night. I think I'm going to go to bed early tonight. All right. I'll see y'all in the next one. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Jason, always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend.